Before I start my presentation, I want you to raise your hand, say I am here. Everybody, please. Okay, thank you, thank you. So this is my calibration style. So my name is Mehmet İşleyen. I am a faculty member in Bursa Technical University, in Environmental Engineering Department at Bursa Technical University. And my colleague, Ahmet Aygün, he was supposed to present, but he went to a wedding last on weekend. And then last night he sent me this picture. He was hospitalized. He got the virus, so it's not proper way to bring him here. So I save you guys. Today you are safe. So, why do you need to learn the safety? I mean, safety is important for everybody. So whatever you do is, you have such as creative ideas, but I'm not sure it's real or not, but it's a good idea. Yes. So this is the couple of basic information. You can expand them, but you should know that laboratory is the fun place to study, to experiment, whatever you want. But it could be the most deadliest place for you guys if you don't obey the rules. And the second important rule is you have to do your own homework before you're doing experiment, okay? So because you are dealing with such a, chemicals, it's not hazardous, it's not toxic, but you can do some aerobic, anaerobic, whatever, degradation. It maybe became a most dangerous item, okay? Such as, perchloroethane. Usually dry cleaners use it. You get this stuff and then use the anaerobic treatments, and then became a vinyl chloride, which is at least 50 times toxic than the initial compounds. So, what you need to do, you have to do your homework. You have to think about everything. Don't think it will not happen to me, okay? It will happen to everybody. And then you have to obey the rules. Whatever rule says, you have to listen. And the other things is one drop of the chemicals may kill you. If you're that may be easy for you guys. But if it's not, life will be difficult for you guys. And look at the different perspective. This is the really good lesson to learn it, okay? If I'm doing something, I'm sorry, I'm a hyperactive person, so I cannot, hold this microphone and then talk it. I cannot. So I'm trying to do it, but bear with me. So look at the different perspective. If you are dealing with something, just sit back and think about clearly. Okay, I'll explain you chemicals have effect on me, okay? So you can do this equation to you when you go back to your country. You use your fiancé, your friend, your father, dad, or whatever you surrounded, okay? Just do it. Very important equation for me. This over D2. You can use this equation for everything. It's like microbial growth, decaying chemicals, everything. You can use it, okay? So it is complicated. You can just write some numbers, and what's the N? You can say order. Okay, what's the order? You don't know. Decay. It could be decay rate, or it could be, growth rate, whatever it is. But this equation is, is everywhere. You look at it. So you can say, okay, K, N, C. I mean, if you get these chemicals over time, let's say 30 years, 40 years, what's going to happen? Okay, let's see it. This is me, 30 years ago, 1992. So, yeah, when you are somewhere in the world at the time. So, I just graduated from the university as an environmental engineer. This is me. So, this is 8 years ago. Okay? So, this is the chemistry, just everywhere. Or you can call biochemistry, whatever you call it. Just call it, okay? And the question is, what's going to happen to me next 10 years, maybe 5 years or 2030, okay? This is the estimation part. Okay, go back to 30 years ago. This is my features. But if it's, you know, it's fun. It could be like that, it could be a different way. But it's not better than first one. You should say that. Okay. Let's start the presentation. And I know most of the people in right now is doing PhD or whatever. And whenever I see you guys, I knew that presentation is not right for you guys. Because you took, you know, like laboratory class. And then I'm sure most of them just go over many times these rules. Okay? But I will make it short, okay? If I knew that, I will prepare different presentation for you guys, because I was thinking the high school students or something, you know, that. This is the personal protection equipment. I wash, like chemical fumes, like fire safety, gas cylinder, and so on. It's like, I will go through all of the steps. Okay, gloves. I'm not able to teach you how you're going to wear the gloves. No. But look at this type of gloves. Whatever you're dealing with, you have to just select the right gloves for you, okay? So if there is a like hole or something like that, change it. And then you are dealing with the chemicals, don't touch anywhere. Computer, anything, okay? So because you don't know what you're transferring. You don't know what you're dealing with. This is the very important part. So right now, we are using, you know, cell phone. A cell phone is everywhere. And then you just, how I can use gloves, you know, you can do that, but it's not funny place, laboratory. You know, you shouldn't do that. So this is the, you know, you can read it, especially nitrile gloves. We will say that usually 80% of laboratory using that one. But is it good for everywhere? No. This is the lesson from the life, okay? And Karen, Dr. Karen, Dartmouth College, she was a professor in chemistry. And what she's doing is studying it like toxicology of heavy metals. So, and she got trained. She got at least 11 months trained. How you gonna do that? And she just obey the rules. You're doing everything by the paper, okay? By the book. So what she did, she dropped couple of drop dimethyl mercury on her gloves. But she didn't know that at the time. And then 6 months later, she became ill. She doesn't feel good. She tried to, you know, like, she got all of the medical examination, and then they found that like mercury level in her blood is like 800 times higher than normal person. So, and then she lost her life. But at that time, she didn't know nitrile gloves protect this kind of chemicals. We know because of her. Rest in peace. Okay? So, this is the general rules, you know that. You know, it's just like you shouldn't touch anywhere. You know, after you done your experiment, throw your gloves away, and then wash your hands before you leave. Very important part. So this virus, you know, like COVID, taught us how to wash our hands. Very good, like lesson, but anyway. Okay, personal shoes. Shoes important. You can wear everywhere, but this type of shoes you shouldn't wear in the laboratory. So usually, look at that. That's some space. May chemical drop on your foot, or it's glassware, anything. It has to be something. You know, it shouldn't be first touch the skin. It should be like at least another stuff. So those kind of shoes you shouldn't wear on the laboratory. I mean, if you're doing, you don't do that, okay? There's a couple, 3 pictures. The first pictures you can look at. There is like one person. Now, closed shoes, which is good, but it cannot. I don't know how to use this. This part is like open. So second one, there's the socks, just the addition. Third one is better than the other ones, but still there is some place here. If you just accidentally drop something in there, it's not easy to remove that. So this is the shoes part, and this is our initial pictures, and that accident not belong to this person, And this is the real case from one of the colleges from the United States. It's not easy to deal with this kind of situation. Before we came like that, we have to be, just pay attention, careful, and, this laboratory is, again, is not a good place. Goggle, you must wear goggles. So if you're dealing with some solvent, it's like a hexane. It's not water soluble. So if you use that solvent, you say that go wash your hands, wash your eyes. It doesn't work. So if you are dealing with spilling something in water soluble, you can wash your hands, eyes, I'm sorry. And there is a 2 accident again. I have to just mention them. And left pictures, she is Michelle, Yale, one of the students, Yale. So she got training too. And what she was doing, she was working on the chemistry laboratory one night, and then the machine cut her hair, and then just chop her head. So after then, they just changed the rules. They said that it has to be some power control bottom. You have to just push it right away. And then the second rule is they don't let the work themselves. It has to be another person too. This Sherry, a little bit unlucky person when you compare the other one. She was working in the laboratory at that time, and then she was transferring third butyl lithium with the syringe. So that chemicals, if contact with the air, ignite right away. Okay? So at the time, somehow a syringe plunger drop, and then fire starts. And they don't know at that time. They put into the shower, and she was not wearing lab coats based on their information. Most of the person, they die. Okay? This is the learning process, okay? So what you need to do is, the important part is the last one. Make sure you may able to save somebody else's life one day, okay? So you got trained. Even if you don't think you are not using this information, no. One day it will help you, it will help your friends and your surroundings, okay? This is the, washing your eyes. Again, I'm saying, if you're dealing with something in hexane, it doesn't work, because hexane is not water soluble. So you say that maybe I should wash my hand, wash eyes with stronger solution, then you're gonna lose your eyes, okay? So you have to do that important part. This is the other one is like showering stuff. If something happens, it's like fire or some chemical spills on you, you can use this shower right away. This is not for taking regular shower, okay? Don't miss it. This is not good. You can do that, but don't do that. Okay, chemical hoods. If the chemical has a like higher Henry constant, that means it prefers to go into the air. So if it's go into the air, you're gonna smell it. If you don't want to smell it, you have to use the hoods. Okay, make sure the hood, your hood is working well, and or you can using some acid. You have to push some containers to protect the spill all over the places, because there's a really important rules. You need to produce less amount of waste, okay? So let's say you're gonna use 10 ml of some solution, and then you prepare 2 liters, it doesn't make sense. I mean, 2 liters, okay, but what you gonna do the rest of the solution? You have to go through all of the proper disposal methods, or just whatever you need it, you have to just think a couple times. Do your math, do your calculation, do your homework, and then prepare certain amount of solution, okay? This is the important part is MSDS. If you're dealing with the chemicals, you have to know the MSDS, okay? You have to take it. In the MSDS form is everywhere. If you're buying some chemicals, you will find it. And this will give you some information. If something happens, some spill happen, or what's the first aid? What you gonna do? And you have to read it before you're doing an experiment. Or keep it somewhere if you are a professor, some faculty, and then just, you have to force your students to do it, okay? This is the MSDS. And this is the labeling stuff. And the right one, I mean, from the right, there's a, initially it was National Fire Protection Agency. It was using the colors. But if you don't know they said that, what's the blue, what's the red, what's the, it's like something. Or you don't see the colors, it's a problem too. So that's why a new global harmonized system, it will put the picograms in like picographs on the labels. Whoever look at this picture, they will say, okay, if I touch it, I'm gonna burn it. Or be careful, something like that. At least you will sit back, think about it again. This is the important part. This is the, the old system, and if you see something is like bigger number, that means you have to just keep distance, or you have to be more careful. And then like, for example, it's like blue 4 is like deadly. It's not killing, it's not joke. It will kill you. It will kill you right away, or like maybe a couple years later, or a couple months later, like Dr. Kevin's. This is the important part, is like, if you just generating waste, you have to proper label all of your stuff, and then you can put the first number 5, whoever, write your name, or whatever inside it, because you may not mix every solvent each other or every acid each other. You cannot do that. If you do that, you will just like ignite and then just fire. And this is the maybe easiest part everybody can do. It's just pull the, it's like fun or not. It's like if something happens, fire, there's a fire. You have to tell, there's a fire, And then fire extinguishers, and then there's a couple types of like these. If you dealing with some metal stuff, you have to use the right one, okay? So ABC, it will not work, everybody's like. This is, I know, everybody in this room, they know. If you hear some, fire alarm, you will not stay here. Everybody will go out, okay? And flame, you may use flames in your laboratory. Especially there is a gas, flammable gas. You cannot use that one. I'm gonna give you one really, really important situation I have faced like 2 years ago. There was like our laboratory, some gas line, they need to check them up. And on weekend, they said that they're gonna come over to the laboratory. I wouldn't trust these guys. I went to laboratory on weekends. And then they sent 2 teenagers, like I would say 18 years, whatever age. And I was keeping my eyes for them because I knew they're gonna do something. And I had to go to my office like 5-10 minutes. And then I came back to laboratory. I started to smell smoking, you know. And then they smoke. I told them, what are you doing, man? There's a hydrogen in there. You're gonna blow the building up. The guys told me, I trust my gas. What does it mean? What, I trust my gas? You know, hydrogen, please come here. Hydrogen, please go away. There is no such a word. And I said, that's okay, it's over. You have to move. Just, I throw them from the laboratory. Because if I'm not there, they're gonna smoke, maybe all day. Because they don't know, they are stupid, I'm sorry. But, you know, laboratory is not, you know, it's like the place. You have to be careful. Not for you, for your friend, for, you know, anybody. You know, it's like, this is the flame, that's mean flame, it's already flames over there. If you push the, you know, okay, let's do the, you know, throwing the paper to flame. Okay, you can do that. There's an acid over there, and then you're gonna catch the fire. That's it. Okay, this is the gas cylinder. Usually, if anybody using the chromatogram, is there anyone? Chromatogram? What kind of chromatogram using? Gas, chromatogram, liquid chromatogram, okay. HPLC, okay, HPLC. If you're using the, you know, like GCMS, this kind of stuff, you know, there's a like, or this, you should see this cylinder, okay, nitrogen, you know, methane, or, you know, argon, helium, okay, hydrogen, this kind of blah, blah, blah, gas. So you have to fix them on the wall. Because something, it's earthquake, or if you drop it, its top is like, it's very dangerous, because there's a pressurized gas in it. It blows you away. So this is the important part. Especially you're dealing with hydrogen. You have to be careful. Hydrogen is the most dangerous gas you're gonna deal with. Okay, this is the broken glasses. If there is a crack on the glass, throw it away, okay? I have seen like a couple people, like they try to wash it and then, you know, just crack, cut their hand. Don't do that, okay? Don't use your hand. Use the gloves or, you know, another, you know, material to clean them up. So this is the glass, you know that. This is the waste disposal. So you have to dispose your waste in proper way. You have to store it. And you should know that you cannot mix everything with each other. That's the important rules. Okay, if you have a dealing with nitric acid, you cannot mix nitric acid with you know, organic acid. No. It is dangerous. You should do that. But before, you can ask your instructor or you can read it. I will pass this one. If there's a spill, probably you will, you know, just, if you work in the laboratory, you have done this stuff. Just accidentally, you know, just smack the bottle or, you know, just, but if it's serious stuff, the spill is important because it's gonna stay there. So, I know everybody is in this room is a good person, good love person, you know. If they will not do anything, they will not drink, they will not eat anything in the laboratory, I'm sure. They will not. I have to pass. I cannot tell you. You should wash your hands. You are enough old to know that, okay? At least you know it. Okay. So this is the couple parts, like, for example, there's that's upper pictures. Somebody used to throw like gloves, everything. You cannot do that. Okay. If you work in some place, in the laboratory, some bench, whatever your place, you have to clean up. You cannot leave anything over there. Okay, you can leave that kind of carrying stuff, and then somebody came and then push over there, and you're gonna cause the accident. You are gonna be responsible. You don't want to do that. This is stuff, and then this is the sun exposure from the laboratory. These guys, grad students, and they were dealing with some exposure, like they used 10 times higher than they used to be, that limit. And then if you do that, blow your laboratory up. Not your laboratory, your finger, your head, it's like, if you are lucky, you're gonna save your life. This is, hopefully you didn't face this kind of scenario, or you will not face this kind of scenario. That's why when you go back, you have to just think about the equation again. Okay, you're gonna report this one. Is like, this is the chemicals, strong mineral acid, and then base, like weak mineral acid. This is, that nitric, those kind of acids. I don't have to tell that. But that is important. Hydrofluoric acid. Okay, it's called weak acid. Pay attention, it's weak. But what it's doing is this small amount that acid, if you touch your skin, it just penetrate, go into your bone, and then bind from the calcium. It's cleaning process, it's really difficult, They have to punch the needles, because if you read that, they say, okay, this is weak acid. I'm too strong for this acid. No. So this is it is really effective, but you need to be careful about this acid. And the other, that is strong. And there is a storage part in your laboratory. You have to store them, if you need nitric acid, it has to be different places or not together, okay? And there is some cap, it tells you whatever inside of this bottle, but it's not, sometimes it doesn't work. Let's say you're working with your friends. They are not careful. Mix the cap. And usually grad students, what they do when they label the cap. And then they open it, oh, which one? And then they don't know that. So in this position, you have to just, you say, I need to smell it. No. Or, it's like, it is in the rule, but it doesn't tell anything. So you have to be careful about this stuff. And if the cap is corrosive, you have to change it. This is the chemical storage unit again. And nitric acid usually turn yellow all the time. And there is another one is like hydrochloric acid. If you're using like storing hydrochloric acid, you have to use wood or plastic lined acid cabinet, okay, which is important, because usually they corrode the metal cabinets. I need to just, how many minutes we have? I'll finish in 5 or 10 minutes, okay. And this is the extraction of, I'm gonna tell you something. This is DD. What DD is, it's kind of pesticide. So let's say in Turkey, 30 years ago, DD use banned, okay? We don't use it. But if you could go and then get some sample in somewhere, soil, water, or fish, you will see the DD still, because this is persistent organic compound. And if you need to extract DD from the water or your sample, for example, one sample, at least you have to use, I would say, 250 ml of hexane, at least. Propanol, and then there's a cleaning procedure, and nitrogen, and then blow the volume up 1 ml, and then just like blah, blah, blah. But you have to use like solvent. That means whatever your solvent using, you are just creating waste. The other thing is the question we had to deal with 10 years ago. We have a sample size only 0.2 ml, which is 200 microliters. If you have water, can you tell me how many ml this water is? So 100. Let's say 100 ml water. You just 100, 108. This is good measuring. 8 is okay. So if it's 1 ml, that means you need to measure DD is in 1 over 100 ml, this amount. Too small amount, okay? So I need to measure DD in that amount. How am I going to do that? So this is I wish I could have more talk this one, because I'm not regulator person, I'm a technical person, okay? This is the 200 microliters. So here is the DD peaks. This peak, internal standard, this is our DD. This other part is another metabolite of DDs, 4,4-DDE, 4,4-DDT, 2,4-DDD, blah, blah. So it is 200 microliter solution. We don't use any solvent. Right now, solventless procedure we're just using, which is good, because I don't buy for solvent. I don't spend too much time, because this amount is too small. If you want to do liquid extraction, you cannot do that, because 200 microliters, like 1 drop or 2 drops, whatever drop is, not more than 20 drops, okay? So what you need to do is, I know you are like young generation. You have more ability than us. I'm not kidding, because you are more smart than us. Believe me. I can see in your eyes. I'm not saying. But you can develop everything as long as you put your energy in it, okay? Thank you. If you have a question, I can answer as much as I can.